My name is Colleen and this is my kitchen. I've struggled with my weight my entire life. After trying every diet in the book without any success, I came to the realization that diets don't work. I started my journey at a size 26W weighing just over 300 pounds. In almost a year and a half, I've lost over 120 pounds and I am a size 14. No W. What's my secret? Eating healthy and moving more. Now I'm here to show you how you can cook healthy food without compromising on taste and lose weight just like I have. Because if I can do it, you can too.
Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. So you might be wondering why I'm looking a little bit rough around the edges this morning, and that's because I have a slow cooker recipe that I'm going to show you today. So it's early on a Sunday today. I'm going to get my slow cooker dish started and then get on with my day, which is going to start with the workout and then running some errands. So for today, I'm going to show you how to make a really delicious Italian sausage and bean stew. And it's very hearty, very rich in flavor, complex in flavor, and spicy at the same time. And I love to make this because there's nothing you really have to do to it when you come home from a long day at work. You walk in, the house smells wonderful, and you can eat right away. So to get us started, our two main attractions. I have here 2 cans of great northern beans that I have drained and rinsed, and you can also use a cannellini bean in this. I like the great northern beans a little bit better simply because they're a little bit more tender and a little bit more buttery in taste. And then I have 1 pound of a bulk or raw spicy Italian chicken sausage. So not the links that you buy. You want to buy just, it looks like ground meat basically. And I'm using a chicken sausage instead of a pork sausage because that'll cut down on the fat and the calories tremendously from the pork sausage. So again, that's 1 pound of spicy Italian chicken sausage that I've already cooked up. And kind of a secret to slow cookers if you're doing this on a weekday is I like to prep everything the night before, just put it in some Tupperware containers, and then in the morning throw it in my slow cooker. And that way I'm not having to take extra time out of my morning, which is always very busy trying to get out the door for work. I have 6 carrots, kind of smallish carrots that I've chopped up. I'm going to add that in. And then I have 1 whole onion that I've diced up. Add that in. And I have 3 cloves of garlic that I'm going to press in. And you could also just mince it if you don't have a garlic press. Again, I love my garlic press because, first of all, it's very easy, easier than chopping in my opinion. This way you get all the nice oils. Okay, to that, I'm going to put in 1 can of tomato paste. Now let's start adding some seasoning. I'm going to use half a teaspoon of dried thyme, half a teaspoon of oregano, and let's start adding in some liquid. I have 4 cups of a homemade chicken broth, so it has no salt in it. And this is what I always recommend is homemade vegetable or chicken broth, because that way you can better control your sodium intake, which is so important to a healthy lifestyle. Because so many of the foods that we buy, or especially when you're eating out in a restaurant, are just really full of salt. So I'm going to add in 4 cups of, again, salt-free homemade chicken broth. And then I'm using 1 cup of an Italian wine. I'm using a Tuscan blend, and it's a very hearty, full-bodied wine, dry red wine. I like to use the Italian wine because it's just a little bit more authentic. Now, you could also use a Cabernet Sauvignon or something of that nature. I recommend getting a quality wine, something that you would also drink, because by using a cup, this dish is going to take a ton of flavor from the wine. So you want to make sure that it's a good quality wine that's going to impart good flavor into the dish. Okay, so last finishing touches. Because I used a salt-free broth, I am going to add in half a teaspoon of coarse sea salt. If you're using a store-bought chicken broth, even a reduced salt broth, I recommend not adding salt at this point and instead adding that in the end to taste, because you've already got sodium in there from the chicken sausage, right? Sausage is pretty high in sodium. So if you're using a store-bought chicken broth, even the reduced sodium is pretty high in salt. So I recommend just not adding salt at this point, and just add it at the end when you do your taste test before you serve it up. Okay, I'm going to give that a good stir. It's just about there. Just get that tomato paste blended in there a little bit. And then I am going to let it cook with 1 bay leaf and just submerge that in there. And that's it. Now I'm just going to cover it. You want to let it cook for at least 4 hours on high heat, at least 7 hours on low heat. I typically will have about a 10-11 hour day, because after work I go to the gym and then I come home. So I've let this sit here for 10 to 11 hours while I'm gone during the day at work and at the gym, and it's just fine. It's great when I come home. So I'm going to stick it on low heat. We'll come back in about 8 hours and check on it, and I'll show you what that looks like. Well, hello again. After a day of some retail shopping therapy, it's been nice to come home and have my dinner all ready for me. I've whipped up a salad and warmed up some baguette, and now I'm going to serve up my Italian sausage and bean stew. Now this recipe feeds roughly 6 people at about a cup and a half each. So what I like to do is serve it up and add just a little bit of chopped flat leaf or Italian parsley, about a tablespoon per serving. It adds great color to the dish, and it has just a kind of a fresh little bite. Just like that. Just stir it in there. Beautiful. Now, what a great complete meal is that. And it's low in fat and low in calories, very healthy, lifestyle friendly. I hope you give it a try and let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time in my kitchen.